word go, that I exercised in a very mindful, thoughtful and responsible way the Dail privilege afforded to me within the Constitution. I did so because there are a number of issues contained in a dossier produced by an authorised officer that raise issues of the most grave public concern. I believe that those matters must be investigated thoroughly. I've written to An Taoiseach to make that point. The Taoiseach so far has not taken up that challenge, but that remains the core of all of this. The fact that there are very serious allegations that go to the core of good governance and good political practice, and I believe that those issues will not go away. And I believe, in the best interests of everybody concerned, the government needs to move very hastily and establish some form of transparent investigative procedure to resolve these matters. The authorised officer in question has made the point to Minister Richard Bruton that they wish to finish out their investigation. That might be one option that the government might pursue. But that's what's at the heart of this. I absolutely respect people's right to their good name. I absolutely accept that unquestionably. I also accept and realise that the privilege afforded to us as parliamentarians is envisaged in particular sets of circumstances, and there are checks and balances associated with it. I have made clear from the get-go that in the manner of my use of privilege, that I was fully compliant with standing orders, and that I did it in a way that was solely and exclusively driven by the public interest and the seriousness of the allegations made. So I will of course defend my own standing and reputation. I stand over the decision that I made, and fundamentally I wish to see these issues properly investigated, the facts fully established. I think that's the proper thing to do, and I call again on the Taoiseach to now move decisively to ensure that that happens.
It was reported in the Irish Times, I think today, that Paul Hill is going to write to Ceann Comhairle seeking a motion of censure against you. Do you think that's fair, or how would you respond to that?
No, well, clearly I don't. I have huge reservations and concerns about the entire procedure embarked upon by the CPP. I have set some of those out for the CPP. I will be writing to them again to reiterate those concerns, because of course they apply not just to me in this instance, but potentially to all other parliamentarians. There's no merit, there's no reason for any motion of censure in respect of myself. I'm only hearing this from you, so certainly Paul Keogh hasn't been in touch with me to give me notice of that. Let me just also say this. Out in what I would call the real world, there is, I think, a certain sense of concern that such a harsh commentary has been adopted by political insiders in respect of me, and that contrasts quite dramatically with lack of commentary in respect of other public figures or political figures now or in the past who in the real world people would judge to have caused real damage to people's lives, to their livelihoods, to their standard of living. I just want to make that point, because I am conscious also that an issue like this, because it's by its nature technical and relates to standing orders and legal positioning and so on, can almost become an insider's conversation, and those certainly that I represent, those on the outside looking on, can become a bit bewildered and even a bit concerned at that. So the issue is, when you boil it all right down, is that the dossier exists. It is not the only document that has been produced by authorised officers appointed by government, not by me, that raise very, very grave issues of grave public concerns. And that is the matter I would respectfully suggest that needs to be addressed, rather than diversions perhaps around motions of censure or otherwise in respect of myself.
If it were to be proved that these people didn't hold these accounts that these people that you named, underprivileged, if it were to be proved that they didn't hold these accounts, would you apologise to them?
If it were to transpire, with the full facts established and adjudicated upon, I would of course accept those full facts and that adjudication, and I would have no difficulty in those circumstances of offering an apology to those persons. None whatsoever. This, David, is not a personal issue for me. I don't know, as it happens, the persons concerned. I have no personal axe to grind in any of this. My sole concern is that the matters contained in these dossiers are by any standards very deeply troubling, and we need to get to the bottom of them, and the facts need to be established, and that falls to government. It is government and government alone that can establish the correct procedure and mechanism for all of that to happen, and that's what should happen.
Do you know,
That's the bottom line.